Last video we went over 5 sports cars that you could buy for under 10K and y'all loved it. Well, at least some of y'all. Of course, I got the guy saying, you can't find these for under 10K, even though I showed one in the video and I probably could find 3 more within 5 minutes of looking on Facebook Marketplace. And my favorite comment of all is saying, you could buy these cars for 2K 5 years ago. Well, some of them you could, but we're living in the present, buddy. So that doesn't really matter. So for the people that are living in 2025 and also can use Facebook correctly and find a good deal, this is a list for you. 5 more sports cars that you can find on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist or any other selling platform. You just gotta look and not be a dunce. Let's get to it. Just like last video, the first one is always gonna be my safe pick. This is a car that I would get just because it's reliable and it just checks off all of the boxes. That is the C5 Corvette, made from 1997 to 2004. For some reason, the only footage I could find of these on YouTube were them bagged and like JDM-ified. But I feel like this could either go both ways. You could lower it just a little bit, put some drag tires on it, you could put some track tires on it, you could really do anything with this build. You could even bag it and make it look like an RX-7 FD. The possibilities for this car are endless, and since it's pretty new and a lot of the people that own these were old men that barely drove these things, and when they did, they kept it under 55 miles an hour.
Oh, hang on a second, I'm stuck behind some fat ass driving too slow. Come on, stupid, move it!
Now hang on, Quagmire. Some jerk behind me is honking his horn.
Oh, you should totally flip him off.
These things are super reliable. It comes with the notorious LS1 engine, making 345 horsepower and 350 pound-feet of torque. Now in 2001, it went up to 350 horsepower and 365 pound-feet of torque, but it's only a 5 horsepower difference. Whatever year you can find under 10K with low mileage and in good condition is a deal. And in my opinion, this is the best looking Corvette post 2000. It looks good and it's not over the top like the new C8. I know I'm gonna get a lot of flack for saying that, but I just do not like the C8 at all. Not to mention it doesn't come in manual. But this car is like the RX-7 FD of America, but it's reliable, it has more horsepower, it's cheaper, parts are cheaper, it's just a better RX-7, and most people that have RX-7 FDs are now putting LS1s in their cars, so you might as well just skip all that hoopla and just buy a C5 Corvette. Now that's me trying to persuade all the RX-7 lovers to get a C5 Corvette, but at the end of the day, the C5 Corvette does not need to be compared to any other car because it's just a great car in general. It has great horsepower, it's rear-wheel drive, you can get it in manual, it looks elegant, and this definitely will be one of those expensive collector cars in the future. I will show you guys one for sale in just a second, but I just thought this was too funny not to show. This car was listed over a year ago, and he says it will most likely sell today. That's just crazy because it shows people don't have any money right now. But if you do have 10K, here is a good one for sale. This is priced at 12K, but it was listed 45 weeks ago. So this guy will definitely take 10K, especially since it says OBO. The description says the car is in real great shape, low miles, pretty fast, removable top, and it's only got 82.5 thousand miles on it. The car looks clean, the paint looks good. If it's as good as the pictures look, this is a pretty decent deal. Unfortunately, it's not a manual, but the manuals do command more money. So if you can find a clean manual for under 10K, you should definitely jump on it. But overall, car looks really clean and it seems like a decent deal. Now for the second car on this list, if you still want some American muscle but you want some added pizzazz of it being old, then the second car on this list is perfect for you, and that's the Fox Body Mustang. Just a second ago I was saying that the C5 Corvette is going to be a future collector's car. Well, this is a current collector's car, but since they made so many of them, they're still relatively cheap. These things had a long run and they were made from 1979 to 1993, and they came in a couple different styles. You could either get the 80s style front end or the 90s style front end, and you could also get this in a hatchback or a coupe. Me, personally, my dream Fox body would be a later year coupe with T-tops because I'm a fiend for rare cars. Actually, I take that back. I'm a fiend for anything rare. I'd buy a rare trash bag if I got a good deal on it. But the Fox body came with 140 horsepower all the way up to 205 depending on the year. The later the year, the more horsepower the car had, and there's even Fox bodies that have more horsepower than this, but they're going to be outside of your $10,000 price budget. For torque, it came with 250 to 275 pound-feet, and all of the ones you're going to want to get are going to come with a 5-speed manual. And some of y'all are going to be saying, well, those Fox body Mustangs that have less horsepower than 140. I'm not talking about the turbo 4s or the 6 cylinders. I'm talking about a V8 because this is a muscle car and that's the only thing that should come in it. Here is one for sale. This is a 1991 Ford Mustang GT hatchback. It's not the coupe that I wanted, or is it a T-top? And it does have some rust, but again, this was listed 8 weeks ago and it's listed for $10,800. You give this guy 9,000 all day and he'll probably take it. This car is mostly stock with some headers and a catback exhaust, and it's got some aftermarket parts. But the good news is that it is red. It does look like it's been repainted. That is something you definitely need to look into to see why it was repainted. But other than that, it looks pretty good. It's a manual, it is a 5.0, and the interior looks pretty good, which says something about the car. Would I get this car? No. I definitely look for a better deal, but if you want a nice Fox body, they're definitely out there. And these motors are relatively reliable, so 143,000 miles isn't too big of a deal. Now, if you're just one of those guys that wants a super unreliable car where 143,000 miles would be a big deal, then I've got the perfect car for you. For the third car on this list, we're going to be talking about the Mazda RX-7 FC. This car was made from 1986 to 1992. This isn't going to be a daily driver like you could do with the C5 or a Fox body. This is going to be a car that you buy to learn. If you know nothing about cars and just want to jump head in, this is the perfect car for you, because on the way home, this car might break down, and it's happened to many people who have bought these in the past. The lesson you need to learn from the story: when going to look at these, always compression check the engine. It's not like a piston engine where you can kind of skip out on that if you do a couple other things. This one you definitely need to. And still, even if you do that, the car might break down a month later, and it might have to sit in the garage for a while. So this is definitely a car that you need a garage space, another daily driver, lots of money for maintenance, and a passion to learn. But if you can get over those few but big downsides, there are some pretty cool pros to this car. First, it's a driving experience like no other. You can't get this feeling with a piston engine. It's not gonna have a lot of low range torque, but once you get up in the rev range, this thing comes to life and it just feels like you're driving a race car. They're also absolutely beautiful, and there's not too many cars that look better than an RX-7, either the FC or the FD or even the FB. Whoever made them at Mazda was just doing a really good job. And the last big pro for me is a unique factor. It's just different. It's something that will never be made again, and you have a piece of history. Unfortunately, with a budget of 10K, you can't get the turbo version, but that's probably good because the NA ones are more reliable. Those come with 146 horsepower and 138 pound-feet of torque. Here's one for sale. This is a 1987 RX-7, $11,000. It's been listed for a week. She might not take 10,000 yet, but give her a week and she definitely will. The reason why I picked this one over other ones on Facebook Marketplace right now that I saw is because this one says it was just rebuilt 2,000 miles ago. It also has cold AC, Fortune auto coilovers, which is a pretty good brand, and has a new radiator, which just helps keep the engine alive. Not to mention the nice new paint job done in 2021. If she has receipts for all of this, most importantly the engine rebuild, then this doesn't seem like a bad deal at all. For the fourth car on the list, we have the car that Mazda cheated off of to get the beautiful design of the RX-7 FC.
Hello? Anybody home? Hey, think, McFly, think. I gotta have time to recopy. Do you realize what would happen if I hand in my homework in your handwriting?
And that is the Porsche 944. I didn't ever think I'd say that a European car is more reliable than a Japanese car, but in the case of the RX-7 and the 944, I'd rather go with the 944 for reliability. Now, is it as unique as an RX-7 with a rotary engine? I'd say no, but if one's gonna stay in the garage and need constant repairs and the other one I'm gonna be able to drive more and enjoy, I'd rather pick the one that I could drive more. So the Porsche 944 was made from 1982 to 1991 and came with 147 horsepower to 163 horsepower depending on the year, the later ones having more, and the torque numbers being 159 to 166. What's great about these cars is you can find some of these with 50, 70,000 miles, great body and paint, immaculate interior, and they were taken care of for under 10K, and that's not really something you can say about any other Porsche. Not to mention, these are a lot cheaper to maintain than a lot of other Porsches. Since this is a front engine car, you don't have to drop the engine out of the rear of the car just to do some basic maintenance like in a mid-engine Porsche. In this car, everything is pretty accessible and the replacement parts are pretty cheap. Now, saying all that, I did come across a video of a guy saying that he bought a Porsche 944 and then, just like the RX-7, it broke down 20 minutes later on the way home.
And when I bought this car, it broke down within 20 minutes of buying it. And that pretty much set the stage for learning how to work on cars, learning how to hunt for parts.
So this isn't going to be as reliable as a 2001 Toyota Camry, but at the same time, I think the chances of this happening are a lot less. And the best part about this car is you still can take your Porsche steering wheel pics with your fake Rolex. Hey man, I'm not hating. Fake it till you make it, right?
You already know what it is. Little Tiny Young is flexed of the century. I'm only 9 years old, but I'm richer than all y'all broke-ass haters.
Here's one for sale. This is a 1985 Porsche 944 with only 70,000 miles. He says it's clean, it runs great, it's a 5-speed manual, comes with a sunroof, power windows, retractable, all this blah 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 stuff. No scratches, which is kind of concerning because I bet it does have a scratch and I wonder what else he's hiding, but it looks in really good condition from the pictures, and it comes with a Porsche jacket, hat, coffee mug, and 2 keys, so you know this guy was invested into the car, and he probably has a couple Porsche steering wheel pics in his camera roll. But man, look at this car. Think of driving this down the road and looking like a rich guy from the 80s. Especially since it's been listed for a while, you get it down to $8 grand. Talking about it's got that Freon and oil leak. You convert the AC system to R134A, reseal a couple things on the engine, and the Porsche is as good as brand new for only $9,000 into it after the repairs. And the interior looks nice too. I would have a lot of fun driving this car and pretending that I'm rich. Now for the last car on this list, for the 5th spot, we've got the 300ZX Z32 twin turbo. That was around from 1989 to 2000 in Japan and 1990 to 1996 in the US. Now this is a car like the RX-7 that's from Japan. It's fun, it's unique, it has some cool quirks and features like 4-wheel steering, twin turbos, and really advanced headlights for the time, but it also has the elegance of, say, a Porsche 944 where you could see a businessman or a doctor driving it, and it's just a perfect combination of the two. I don't know if that's because these same headlights were used on the Lamborghini Diablo, but just the styling on this car screams you made it. But that was back in the 80s. Now in 2025, you're the one that's going to be screaming because this thing is such a pain in the ass to work on. And that's because the Z32 300ZX was one of the first Nissans to use CAD to engineer this car, and because of that, the engine fits in the engine bay, but nothing else can fit, including your hands, so when you want to replace anything or do any engine work, you better hope you're Asian. But at the end of the day, what other legendary Nissan can you get with twin turbos for around 10K? Now the engine itself, the VG30DETT, is a pretty reliable engine that came with 300 horsepower and 283 pound-feet of torque, and these also come with a pretty good 5-speed manual. So if you do have small hands or you're okay with busting up your knuckles a little bit to get the best bang for your buck, this is the car for you.
You know, a lot of people are kind of intimidated. Really, it's very simple. Big enough to get your hand right up inside it.
Here's one for sale. This is the 1990 300ZX Turbo for $12,000. Listed over a year ago. You could definitely get this guy down to 9 or 10,000. It has 114,000 miles on it, which is not too bad. This is a right-hand drive model, so that's kind of cool. I'm not really into that, but if you're into that, then that's definitely a plus for you. It is a 5-speed manual. This guy got the car when he was in Japan, shipped it back to the US. It's completely stock except a couple parts, and he just got some service done on it. The only problem that he states is that there's a hole in the driver's side seat, and if that's the most you got to worry about, this little thing right here, this is definitely a deal if you get it for $9,000 to $10,000. The car looks really good, it runs, and I gotta say, if you end up owning one of these, you own one of the best looking 90s cars out there. So I hope you guys enjoyed part 2 of the best sports cars for under 10K. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below if there's any additional cars you want to see in part 3. Join the Discord down below where we talk about cars and play video games, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.